Okay, let's begin with a new topic for the web development JavaScript. So this is something different that we have done as per HTML, CSS, and this is the third part that we are trying to cover. Before we move on to the JavaScript, try to first understand these three layers of the web. First one, HTML, that we have just done for the content part. Okay, what actually is your content, your text materials, your images, your data in some tabular structures, forms. We actually did with the HTML. The next one after HTML, we move on to the CSS part for the presentation, layout, and structure of your web page. So the third part that we are trying to cover is the JavaScript. So JavaScript, it generally deals with the behavior of your web page, how you are going to interact with the user, how user can input in your, let's say, your web page forms, and how you are going to control those data. So these all we will now check with this JavaScript part. So for the JavaScript, so this is the syntax. Script type equals to text slash JavaScript, or simply script will do. Then JavaScript code within this we will write. So this is a single line comment, this slash asterisk, your JavaScript codes, and then asterisk slash, this is for the multi-line comment. Okay, what actually is the JavaScript and what are its features? So simply, JavaScript, it's an object-oriented scripting language. Okay, it offers the object-oriented patterns in your programming part. Next one, this JavaScript, the code you write and your JavaScript program can run both on your client side, let's say in your HTML page, or also on your server-side pages. Next one, with JavaScript, we can do some decision-making things, decision-making codes you can write, let's say with if-else, switch cases, and other complex calculation you can do with JavaScript. If you want to validate your data for the users that input through the form controls, you can validate those data. You can also add some animation and additional effects on your elements. So this thing is offered with your JavaScript. Next one, let's say events. Let's say button click is an event, mouse over is an event. If you want to interact with those events in your pages, on your documents, then JavaScript will help you do that. Next one, for the HTML elements, if you want to read HTML elements value, if you want to write values to the HTML elements, or if you want to modify the existing values, you can do with JavaScript. It's open and cross-platform, means in multiple browsers you can run JavaScript. You can also run JavaScript in your mobile platforms. So that's why it's open and cross-platform. Next one, you can interact with the properties of objects, whether it's a window object or whether it's a document object. So there is two ways that you can write JavaScript. First one, you can directly write your JavaScript code being on the same page, or you can just write your JavaScript code in some external JS file and you can include that JS file in your page. So this means external file .js, you will create one file, and let's say you have HTML file. In that HTML file, you are going to include that JS file, which is similar to including your external CSS file that we have already done. So this is the first program that you can write JavaScript for. Okay, HTML, title, body, these things are same. Okay, this script part, you can write this at the head section, or you can write within the body section, both way there should be script as a tag. Okay, within this you will write document dot write your h1, any number of h1, I mean any number of HTML tags you can write within this document dot write. Hello, good day. So this is the one. If I just want to print display this message in my page, I will be using document dot write. Document is the object and this write is the function, or you can refer as a method. Okay, whatever text you pass on within this write, it will be displayed in your page. This alert hello, so this will display hello in the form of some alert dialog box. Okay, so starting with the basic thing, for any of the programming language, we generally start with statements, comments, and variables. So statements you can generally refer as each line of code which is separated by something new line, or it is also separated by a semicolon. This means each of your lines should be terminated with a semicolon. So next one, comments. For the comment, if you do not want to show your code, then you can comment. For the single line, you will have double slash, and for the multi-line, you will have slash asterisk and asterisk slash. So this is simple for the comment. So variable means if you want to store some data or hold some data, then you can use a variable. So this is the term that you can also find this in most of the programming language. Okay. So in our case, for the JavaScript, we will be using the keyword as var. So variables, we can also distinguish them as a local or global. Local means the scope of this will be within the particular block only. Global means you can use that variable within the whole program, or maybe within the same page you can refer, or within some different pages. So this is how you can declare a variable. Var is the keyword, name is your variable name. So this way you can declare your variable. If you just want to assign some value for that variable, then var a equals to 10, or your variable name equals to whatever value you like. See, var a, this is just a declaration. If you just use equals to and some value, then it will be initialization of that particular variable. So variable data types. So for the variable, we will be storing different type of values. Maybe it's a number. Okay, for the number also you can have some integer number. Integer means the fixed number without any such point values. So those generally belongs to the integer category. Okay, float means the point value. In this example, 4.5. So whenever you get some decimal point values, then it will be float values. So next category of data type is a string. String generally is the collection of some characters or the text. Boolean means the true and false value, whether the value is yes or no. So JavaScript is a loosely typed language. This means whatever value you put in your variables, it will take that particular data structure or that particular data type. So operators. So these are the categories of operators. First one is arithmetic operator. For the arithmetic operator, we have these symbols: plus for the summation, okay, minus, this is for the subtraction, asterisk, this is for multiplication, this slash sign, this is the division symbol, okay, percentage, so this is modulus, and a double plus plus, so this is increment that particular variable with +1. Similarly, minus means decrement operator. So these all comes to the arithmetic operator group. Next one is the comparison operator. We can have less than, okay, greater than, greater than or equals to, less than or equals to, double equals to, okay, equals to, this is generally read as, okay, then this is not equals to. These all belongs to the comparison operator. Logical operator, for the logical operator we have this and, okay, or and not symbol. There might be some cases that you need to compare the two values, and you again need to check with whether both of the conditions are true, then you need this logical operator. Next one is the assignment operator. Okay, assignment operator is equals to, plus equals to, minus equals to. This means you are going to check this with from the left part and the right part, they are going to do some summation with the plus, minus with the subtraction, asterisk as multiplication like this, then percentage, this is for the modulus or the remainder, you can think. So the last one is the conditional or the ternary operator. So the symbol is this question mark, and then semicolon will be used to check. If the condition is true, then do this, otherwise else do this. So this is how you can write using this operator. So after this, there might be some cases in your program that you need to make decisions. Okay, to make decisions, any of the programming language, they offer two approach. One is if and else statement, other is switch case statement. So in a diagram, we just start our program, okay, then we encounter some condition. If this condition meets, then it goes to the true statement. Okay, if the condition is true, then it goes to the conditional statement true path, otherwise it goes to the false condition statement and your program will be terminated. So this is how you control the program flow. So if else, you can also categorize this into these three categories. If statement with just an if statement, if and else statement means if this, so this is the statement, else then other statement. So next one is if, else if and else. So you can have any number of else if between the if and else. So this is the three way that you can write for the if and else statement. So your syntax is like this. If your expression or your condition, if this is true, then the statement within this if block will be executed. So this is how you can write your syntax. So let me show you with some examples. So in this example, see, we have variables as n1, n2, n3. n1 is equals to 10. We assign a value 10. For the n2, we assign a value 20. Then n3 is equals to n1 plus n2. Now see, if you just try document.write, then sum plus sum. Now this will give you, see, the sum value is now 30. So it will print sum as 30. Similarly, document.write, this is line break PR, sum of n1, which is 10, and so this is string text, plus this n2, which is 20 and is, then plus this is, the plus means you are trying to concatenate your string with your variable values. Then plus n3, which is 30. Okay, in this case, see, can you find anything that I need to replace this n3, or I need to replace this sum? So instead of this sum, there should be n3. Okay, document.write line break. If n3, we also managed to write some conditional statements. If n3 greater than or equals to 30, n3 is 30, which is true. So document.write, this will print greater or equals to 30. If this is not greater than or equals to 30, it will print document.write condition not satisfied. So I want you to go with this example first before we move on with the other examples. So try this. I'm sending this in some group chat. So get the code from the script, okay, from here up to the script close, and then let me know. Okay, you can take a few minutes. So I have sent this to group everyone in the meeting. Okay. Now I think this will do. So this is my code. Run your code. So this thing you need to correct. Okay. Okay, for any of the era, you can find this. Yeah. Let me do the browser. See, it showed some error in your console code on cut reference error. Some is not defined. You just need to correct this to end 3. Okay, try this. Sum is 30. Okay, sum of 10 and 20 is 30. You are also checking with the if else statement greater or equals 30. Let me know whether you get the output or not. Okay, how are you all doing? So this should be N3. So it's done. Hello. Can you hear me?
Yes, sir. Yes, we can hear.
Are you done with this example?
Yes, I am done.
Okay, can I move? Let's
Yeah.
go ahead. So this is simple, okay? We just created three variables as n1, n2, n3, like this. So for the console, see, better you have this code in a file like this, okay? So name it as your file name.html, write the things here. Then for the console, better you just use to print your output like this. If you want to show this result in the console part, see, this way also you can do console.log, then the value or whatever text you want to print. So I just want to check this in my browser, which is Chrome I'm using. So I just press F2 valve. So I just refresh. So this value 30, this is on the console part of your browser. Okay. But for now, you just use the console to view your output, the result. So if our meeting ends, please reconnect with the Zoom. So this example, see, another example where n equals to parse int prompt enter a number. Now in this example, I am using the prompt dialog box so that user can input this value, okay? Then document.write, you just want to show you entered the value for the n. Let's say I just entered 10 because see, I need to do parse int because the whatever value I entered into the prompt dialog box or the text field, those will be string. So I need to convert them to the particular type. Let's say if I just want to get the integer, then I'll be using parse int. Okay, let's say I just enter 10. I want this to be converted to the integer. Then now where n will hold 10 as the integer. Then you are going to display document.write. You entered this value. You also try to show with the console.log. Okay, you entered like this. Then if n is less than 10, document.write greater than 0, else if n less than 0, okay, if n is greater than 0, you can also try with this if, else if, and else condition. Okay, document.write. So if n is greater than 0, you can just display document.write greater than 0 like this. Else if your n value, which is less than 0, you can show document.write and this is less than 0. Else you can show document.write which is equals to 0. So this way you can do if you have else, if, and other conditions. So for the multiple conditions, we'll be using else if. So other thing that you can do for the conditional statements or the controlling flow programs, you can also do with the switch case. For the switch case, this is the syntax. switch, you will have the expression, you will have a condition like this, case condition 1, case condition 2. Like for the condition 1, you need to write statements and break. Similarly, for the condition 2, statements and break. Similarly, other conditions, okay, then the final condition, statements, break, and the default statements. So this is how you need to write as a syntax for the switch case statement.
त्यो बन्द गर्दा ठ्याक्कै बन्द गर्दा ए म यहाँ हेर्छ अनलाइन क्लास जोइन गरिरहेको छु कि अनलाइन क्लास जोइन गरिरहेको छु के बजाइरहेको थियो म झ्याप्पै तान्दिउँ थियो
So if you just want to check this block diagram, for this we start with this point. You will have some expression, means some value you're going to pass. If it matches with the case 1, it goes to the case 1 and it will execute the code blocks within the case 1, and this should be terminated. Okay, so that's why we are using the break statement here. Similarly, for the case 2, if you happen to match with the exception, then it goes to this code block 2 within the case 2. Similarly, for the case 3 like this, okay, if all of these cases, if it does not match, it goes to the default statement, and this ends the statement. So this is the example. Let's say we have a variable grade equals to A, switch grade. This means we are trying to pass the value as A. Now it check with the cases. Case A, your value matched with this, okay? You are passing A, means case A, this is matched, and it will print document.write, you got A like this, and you will break this switch, okay? If you just manage to pass, let's say grade equals to D, then it checked for case A, it does not match, okay? Case B does not match, C doesn't match, okay? For D, it matched and it goes to this case D block, document.write, and it will print got D, and it breaks the switch. Okay, if you just manage to pass, let's say grade equals to Z, it checks for all of these cases. None of the case matched, so it goes to the default statement, okay? It will print document.write, then you are printing unknown grade like this. So anything, if you're not clear with this, so we can check this.
So document, sir.
Okay, हुन्छ सोध्दा हुन्छ
डकुमेन्ट राइट हामीले सबै टाइप गर्नै पर्छ त्यो डकुमेन्ट राइट कपी गरेर सबैमा केस ए केस बी गर्दै
document.write भनेको सिम्पली मैले देखाउनुको लागि हो. अर्को वे भनेको चाहिँ मैले सपोज भेरिएबल राखेर
त्यो माथिको त्यो
होल्ड गराएर पनि गर्न सकिन्छ. फर नाउ document.write गरेर प्रिन्ट गर्ने भनेरै बुझ्दा हुन्छ. मलाई अहिले जहाँसम्म लाग्छ प्रोग्रामिङ बेस अरू प्रोग्रामिङ ल्याङ्ग्वेज आफूहरूले गरेको छैन है अहिलेसम्म.
छैन सर.
I think this is the first programming language that you are doing. है, सो त्यही भएको हुनाले म चाहिँ यो प्यारलली आफूहरूले पनि गर्दै जाओस् भन्ने चाहिँ मैले पनि त्यही एक्सपेक्ट चाहिँ गरिरहेको छु है. स्लोली जाउँ, केही छैन है. So if you want, say, let me replace this with the code. So for the decision making, either I can follow if else statement or I can just go with this switch case statement. alignment पनि यसै गरी मिलाउन खोजेँ. Okay. If my grade is A, first try with the example. So got A भनेर भन्यो. If यदि मसँग break, I just commented. So see what will happen. I just load my page. Got A, got B, got C, sabai आयो. So that's why you need to do break. If any of the condition matched, any of the cases matched, मैले चाहिँ break चाहिँ गर्नै पर्छ. If let's say this is Z or whatever, then this is unknown grade, which is fine. Okay, try to change the value to F. It should give me failed. So this is the case. Okay, you can give a try if you want. So try to remember with the syntax. So switch, this is your keyword. Okay, this grade, this is your expression, or this is your variable. So there you should define those cases which matched with the variable values you passed in the switch. So this is how you can work with the switch case statements for the control flow. So once we have an idea of this control flow, so next one is the loop. So for the loop, say, there may be some cases that you want to do things repeatedly until and unless your condition is satisfied. Let's say you want to print, let's say the values, let's say for 5 times, then you need to use loop. Otherwise, you need to write the same code 5 times. So better we prefer loop in that case. So generally you can find 3 types of loop, the basic loops. Okay, you can refer while loop, do while loop, and for loop. So each of these, the syntax is something different. Okay, with the while loop, I just try to show in some diagram. So this point is your starting part. Okay, while condition, if it meets, then it enters to the condition. If the condition is true, it executes the code block. Again, see, it also check for the condition. Again, if this is true, it executes the code block. Again, it goes to the condition check. Okay, again, so this way it keeps on executing the code block until and unless this condition is unsatisfied. Okay, if the condition is false, then it will end or it will terminate the program. So for any of these loop, you will have the 3 criteria. Okay, one is the initial statement or the initialization statement from where you want to start your value. Okay, next one is the condition statement. So this means up to which condition you want to execute your loop. Next one is the object. This means either you increment or you decrement the value, the, let's say, your variable value. So in this example, see, first check for the while loop. So we started with the script, okay, where your variable, let's say count equals to 1, document.write. You are showing some message as a starting loop while count less than or equals to 10. This means your count is 1 for now. Okay, now you are checking your condition. If your count reaches less than or equals to 10, up to this it will run, means from 1 to 10 your loop will execute. Then within this loop you have document.write, 1 line break. Count is, for now, this is 1, it will print 1. Okay, Then count plus plus means now the count value will be 2. Again, it goes to this while condition. Now count is 2, 2 is less than or equals to 10, which is true. Again, it will print count is 2. Then count plus plus. Now count value is 3. 3 is less than or equals to 10, which is true. So again, this will execute and it will print count is 3. Then count incremented to 4. Now 4 less than or equals to 10, which is true. So it will print count is 4. So like this, count is 4, count is 5, count is 6, count is 7, up to count is 10. So when you print count is 10, again you just try to increment the value. Now the count value is 11. Then you check with this statement, conditional statement, 11 is less than or equals to 10. Now this is false. So this while loop will be terminated. And see, after this you have this line, loop stopped. Okay, this is printed and your script closed. So this is how your loop will work. So same thing, same example, I also try to show with the do while loop. For the do while loop, again you have initialization part, you have your condition part, and you have your increment or the object part. So this statement, this count equals to 1, this is your initialization part. Okay. So for the do while, you first do, then only you will check the condition. So do this, right, count is, then your count value is 1, then count plus plus, now your value will be 2. Okay. Then while count less than or equals to 10, which is 2, again it will do and it will print. Again it will increment, check condition, again it will go for the next loop like this, it will print from 1 to 10. So what is the difference with the while and do while? If you managed, let's say, to assign the value count equals to 11, okay, then it will print because you just have written do this first, okay, then only you check the condition. So even if your condition is false, it will print your single statement anyway for the do while loop. So this is simple. Okay. So next one is the for loop. So why do we generally prefer for loop? Well, instead of this while and do while, we have all these initialize, condition, and the increment part within a single line. See, for I equals to 1, I is less than or equals to 10. See, you are separating this part with a semicolon, okay, semicolon like this, and the last part is the iteration part or the object part. Then document dot write line break I. Again, with all of these 3 loops, you can do the same thing. Okay, for the for, you can have all of these things in a single line. So this is for the each. Generally, in the future, most of the time you will be referring to this for loop. So this is simple with the loops. Okay. Now let's move on to the array. So there might be cases that you want to store multiple values. Okay. Then you have a choice. Either you create multiple variables and store a single value on each of those variables, or you can create one single array variable and you can just assign those values, or you can put those values in that array variable. So this one will be simple rather than creating multiple variables. Okay, let's say if you want to store information of a students, so my choice can be either I create all 30 variables and then assign each one's name to that variable, okay, or I can create one single array variable. Within that I can just put all those student names. So in order to create array, so this is the syntax. Either you can do var, okay, your variable name, array name equals to new array. So this is the keyword. New is the keyword, and array is again a keyword. You can refer array. To this, you can pass your values like this: football, tennis, cycling, or where sports equals to, directly with this square bracket, you can just write your values like this. So we have 3 values here. So this means your index or the start value will be 0 for the array, and your last value will always be n-1. In this case, here this football, this is in the sports 0 index. Okay, this tennis is on the sports index 1, and this cycling is on the index 2. This means the last value will always be n-1. So in this example, see, where sports equals to new array, we have 3 values like this. So when you just do document.write sports 0, it will print football. Okay, sports 1, it will give you tennis, and sports 3, it will give you cycling. Okay, so sports dot length. So this is one property of the array that you can use to get the size of your array. Sports dot length, you have 3 elements here. Okay, so you will get 3 in your count variable. When you loop through this, you start from 0, and less than count means less than 3. Now your loop begins from 0 and it reaches up to 2, from index 0 to index 2. So I just want to show index of this is the sports. I mean sports, initially it is 0. It will give you index 0, and sports 0 means football. Okay, similarly index 1, tennis. Okay, index 2, it will give you cycling like this. So this is easy with the arrays. So next thing is the JavaScript strings. Generally strings, you use this to store and manipulate your text. Okay, your strings means you can have 0 strings or 0 characters or more characters within your quotes, means double quote or this. Okay, where my string, let's say this is my variable, I have assigned a string as JavaScript. See, first try with this. JavaScript, how many characters you have? JAVA, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 characters. Okay, this means the length is of 10. Okay, then see index. For this string, your capital J is on 0th index, A is on 1th index, V 2, like this. So this is the index. Your last character is T, which is on the index 9. Okay, now see, when I just do document.write line break, my text dot length, it will give me 10. Okay, when I just try my text dot char at 4th index, the 4th index we have as S, so it will give you S. Similarly, my text dot index of VA, so index of VA is 2. Okay, you just try to check for the VA, and its index is at 2. So substring, if you just want to extract some part from your string, then you can use something like this. Substr is the function, and I want to start from the 0th index, and I want to get the 4 length of the string. So I will get JAVA Java for this. With the substring, to uppercase means you want to convert all these strings to the capital letter uppercase. If you want to convert this to the lowercase, so this is the function to lowercase. Now go with each of these functions and the properties. See, always initial letter for this function or the methods you can refer. This is small letter. Okay, A is capital. See, first letter is first letter is always small, then second word, then first letter is always capital. So this is how
Hello, sir.
we follow. Hello.
सर अनि हामीले यो के भन्छ माई टेक्स्ट डट चार्ट एट 4 को ठाउँमा हामीले अब यो ए लेख्यो रे हैन यो जाभा स्क्रिप्टको अनि ए मा कुन चाहिँ भ्यालु दिन्छ 4 को दिन्छ कि 1 को दिन्छ
क्यारेक्टर एडमा जहिले पनि हामीले नम्बरै पठाउनु पर्छ है
नम्बरै
क्यारेक्टर
पठाउनु
एड विच इन्डेक्स भनेको कि क्यारेक्टर एड 4th इन्डेक्समा मेरो एस छ भनेको कि
ए हैन मैले भन्न चाहिँ अब बाइ चान्स यो अब ए त दुई ठाउँमा दोहोरिरहेछ नि त हैन अनि हामीले के गरी अब 1 पठायो भने ए त यसमा पनि छ त्यहाँ पनि छ 3 मा पनि छ नि त
फर्स्टको दिन्छ कि हामीलाई फर्स्टको दिन्छ सपोज मैले दिएको ठाउँमा ए मा त दिएँ भनेदेखि चाहिँ उसले फर्स्ट वान भेटाएको दिने भयो
ए ए हुन्छ
कि त्यसरी चाहिँ दिन्छ त्यही भएर मैले कम्बिनेसनमा दिनुको रिजनै त्यही हो कि क्यारेक्टर त मल्टिपल हुन सक्छ नि त तर मैले यसै गरी 2 वटा अथवा 3 वटा क्यारेक्टरको कम्बिनेसन दियो भने त्यो त चान्स कम हुन्छ नि त है त्यो भएर मैले ठ्याक्कै एक्ज्याक्ट इन्डेक्स पोजिसन चाहिँ मैले पाउँछु कि सो यो फङ्सन्सहरु चाहिँ उसैले दिएकोमा मैले प्यारामिटर चाहिँ कुन चाहिँ पठाउने भनेर पास मात्र मैले गर्न जाने पुग्यो कि स्ट्रिङको बेसिकली अब हामीलाई चाहिँ यसरी चाहिँ आयो भने पुग्छ लजिकली हामीले यहाँ त केही गरेकै छैन नि हैन उसैको फङ्सन छ उसैको फङ्सनमा मिल्ने किसिमको प्यारामिटर मात्र मैले पास गर्दै चेक गरिरहेको छु है यो सब स्ट्रिङ इन्डेक्स इनर चाहिँ तर चाहिन्छ हामीलाई कुनै बेला अब जाभास्क्रिप्टमा मैले स्ट्रिङको कुराहरू चल्नुपर्ने हुन्छ हैन त्यो बेलामा चाहिँ मैले जाभास्क्रिप्टको स्ट्रिङमा चाहिँ यसरी चलेको चाहिँ हुनुपर्छ है सो द्याट इट विल बी इजी फर यु है सो दिस इज अल्सो सिम्पल okay now functions maybe there is cases that you want to call that part of code repeatedly or maybe you need to break your code into some readable sections okay in that case you need to use function so when you just want to reuse your code okay so that you can call them any number of time in a program so this is one advantage you can use or you can also if you want to eliminate the need of writing the same code again and again in a program so this is one thing that you can get with the function next one let's say you have a very big program codes and you want to divide them into small and manageable code blocks so this thing you can do with the function so then how you are going to write the function okay so the keyword is function and it should be followed with your function name this function name can be anything you want within the bracket you can have a list of parameters okay then within this so this is a block statement that's why you have this curly braces so within the function you have your own statements so this is how you can write the function so for the function, we can generally categorize this on the basis of parameters and the return type. Maybe you might have no parameters. Let's say when we talk about the type 1, no parameters and no return type. This means empty function you can say, okay? It does not accept any parameters. This means the function bracket, this will be empty and there will be no such return type in this case. Similarly, for the type 2, you have a parameter as yes, okay, return type as no. This means you accept the parameter in your function, but you do not have return keyword in your function. Similarly, no parameters, but you can have return type. Okay, the next one say you can have parameters then, and you can also have a return type like this. So these are the categories that you can distinguish for the function. So now check with this, which category this belongs to. So this is the type 1, okay, because this function call me, this is empty bracket, this means no parameter. And we do not have a return type. This means no return as such keyword. So anything you want to ask me? Okay, for the type 1. So call me, this is my function, this is my function definition. Within this, I just have alert, hello there. So once I define my function, then I need to call this function. So call me, I just call with a semicolon, okay, then call me simple. So this function definition, once I define, I can call this function any number of times. So what is the difference? How many times you call this function, it will give you the same exact output. So when I just call this function, it will show me alert, hello alert. Again, I call this same function, it will alert me hello there. So this means you will get the same result with this function call. So second category of function, see, you have a function call me, and I just pass some variable. Okay, I have some parameter as name within this function, document.write hello, and the plus name means whatever value I just pass, it will display me hello, the value I passed. Then I have another function. See, you can have a list of parameters. This call me is with a single parameter function. Okay, this f2 is a function with two parameters, n1 and n2. I just passed. So for this f2, where sum equals to n1 plus n2 and document.write sum, I just display the sum value. Okay, when I just call this function, call me Sam, it will display me hello Sam. Okay, when I just call this function and pass value hooray, okay, then I will get hello hooray, like this. So similarly for the f2, I just pass 2 and 5, 2 and 5 for n1 and n2, 2 plus 5, then it will be 7, and document.write means I will display 7. Similarly, 10 and 20, I just pass to this function, 10 plus 20, n1 plus n2, which is 10 plus 20, and my sum will be 30. And I just display 30 like this. So this is my function type 2 with some parameters, but with no return type. Okay. Let me check with the another function type. So this function say no parameter but return type. Let's say for this function type, I created f3, then n1 equals to 2 and n2 equals to 12. So this is my variable, and I assign 2 and 12. And for the sum, n1 plus n2, I will get 14. Then I just returned value this sum. Okay, this means I'm returning 14. Instead of printing your values being on the same function, now with this category, this return type, I will return that variable. Okay, so when you are calling this function, now you need to do something like this. f3, you call the function, this is returning your value, so you need to create some variable and get those returned value. So this is my variable returned sum, and I will get 14 once I call this function. Then when I just print returned sum, it will display the value, okay, 14. Similarly, I can also call like this document.write f3. Okay, f3, this is the function call. Okay, this will give me again 14. So this is how you can do with this function category for no parameter and return type. So the last one is with parameters and return type. So same example I try to create. You can make this function as f4. Okay, n1 comma n2, sum is n1 plus n2, return sum. Okay, in this case, for this function call, I passed 10 and 20, okay, which will be passed on to this function definition 10, 20. This 10 plus 20 will be 30. I just returned this value 30. Now I will get the value 30 within this variable returned sum. So when I just try to print document.write returned underscore sum, this should be, okay, returned underscore sum. So this will give you 30. Document.write, you can also directly call like this. Okay, maybe you also need to concatenate the things for this. So let me show you with the function call. So let's say this is your function call. Let me comment the whole thing. Let me do with the all variation. So anything, Lal Bahadur? You can always interrupt me, no problem. Hello, Lal Bahadur. Okay. So this thing, say function call me. Let me just load this page. Okay, hello, Sam here. Here like this. Better you can have a line break. BR. So this will do F2. When I just call, it is printing. It's fine. Okay, BR. So this is my function called F2. I'm passing the parameter on the name. I'm also passing the value for this. Okay, N1 and N2. Let's say I created a function F4, and let's say this is my N1 comma N2. So this is my var equals to N1 plus N2, and I just want to return this sum. Okay. I want to read this value. Let's say document dot write is plus then F4. Let me pass 12 comma 13. Better if you add one line break here. So this is my fourth category of function. So you can check this. Just press F12. So bracket is missing here. Line number 42. Okay. Line number 42. Okay, this bracket is missing. Okay, the sum is 25. So this is how you can call the functions. So this way you can do, okay, for the functions. So next one is the JavaScript event. We'll be now just talking about the basic things and the events. We'll do more on our next classes. So generally events means there might be some interaction in your HTML pages, maybe through some events. Okay, events can be either your page load, your button clicks, pressing on some key on your keyboard, okay, form controls, data selection. Maybe you just try to focus on some controls, mouse over, mouse out. So there can be any number of such events. Okay, these events, these are generally part of the document object model, which you can generally refer as DOM, means document hierarchy label. This means each and every element within the hierarchy. This is referred as the DOM, and every HTML element contains a set of elements which can trigger some events through this JavaScript code. So list of events can be this document level events, which can be on page load and on page onload. Similarly, when we talk about the form level events, this can be either form submission with the on submit, on reset button click, okay, then on change, on select, on blur, on focus. Whenever you put your cursor on some control, then this will be on focus. Whenever you just remove the focus from that control, then it will be on blur like this. Okay, maybe keyboard events mean key press, key down, key up. Similarly, for the mouse, you can click, you can double click, you can mouse over on any of the control element, you can do mouse out of the control element. So this is the basic thing you can do with the event. Say we know how to create a function. Okay, function call me alert and document that, right? We have now we have one button as like this input type button. On click me value equals to this. This means on some event when you click on this button it will call this function. Okay, this is how you can bind your event and call the function. So this is some of the few tasks for you. Okay, so this is generally with the for loop. You need to show with the images doing loops, and similarly multiplication table. The next one is you just need to do some loops and show in this tabular structure and with some alternate background colors. So this is the task.